Hey everyone, welcome back to Film Freaks. I'm Megan, and today I'm looking at 4 movies that will make you paranoid even after the credits roll. Spoilers will be popping up, so consider this your big warning. Definitely stick around for the end where I'm going to share some fun facts about each film. First up, The Strangers. James and Kristen are a young couple staying in a remote vacation home when they get a knock at the door. A young woman is there and asks if Tamara is home. She's turned away only to come back a short time later asking again if Tamara is home. From that point on, a cat and mouse game ensues. James and Kristen are terrorized not only by the woman at the door, now masked, but she's joined by 2 other masked individuals. Whew, okay, this one. This one was terrifying. The entire time you're watching it, you are looking over your shoulder. There are scenes in the movie where the masked man is standing behind Kristen and only you can see him. And then you think, what if somebody's standing behind you? The most frightening part of this movie is their reason for attacking them. After being subdued, Kristen finally asks what we all want to know: why are you doing this? A woman, whose face we never see, we actually never see any of their faces, looks at her and says, because you're home. I love that their faces aren't revealed because it shows you that evil has no face. It could be anyone. And should you be in the wrong place at the wrong time, even your own home, who knows what can happen. Okay, number 2, Black Christmas. Christmas break has finally arrived and a group of sorority sisters are making plans for how they'll spend the holidays. But a series of anonymous phone calls are putting them all on edge, and the disappearance of one of the sorority sisters is making things even more unnerving. The police decide to set up a phone tap so they can track down where the calls are being made. To everyone's horror, they realize they're coming from inside the house. I know most people think of When a Stranger Calls when you say the calls are coming from inside the house, but this movie was actually made 5 years prior to that one. It's scary enough, the idea of a serial killer on the loose, but then when you find out he's in your home and most likely has been the entire time he's been committing these crimes, you're not only terrified of what's gonna come next, now you're like, is anybody in my house? Thanks, Black Christmas. Number 3, It Follows. After a night out with her boyfriend Hugh, Jay decides she's finally ready to sleep with him for the first time. Afterwards, while in his car, Hugh uses chloroform to debilitate Jay. She wakes up tied to a wheelchair in an abandoned garage. Hugh explains to her that when they slept together, he passed something on to her, an entity that will be invisible to everyone but her, that will be following her, walking towards her forever unless she passes it on to someone else. If it catches her, it will kill her. If she passes it on and it kills that person, it will come for her again. To prove he's telling the truth, he waits until she sees a naked woman walking towards them. Satisfied that she believes him, Hugh takes her and drops her in front of her house and flees. This movie does an incredible job of creating a sense of paranoia after the movie is over. Whether it's somebody being more leery about who they sleep with next, or somebody questioning whether or not the person they're talking to is really who they say they are, or if they're someone else, or something else. All right, number 4, Jaws. Now I'm sure most of you are familiar with this movie, but just in case you're not, and if you're not, could you let me know in the comments because I'm really curious who you are. Here's a brief synopsis. After a man-eating shark terrorizes a small beach town, Chief Brody, a marine biologist named Harper, and a seafarer named Quint must hunt down the shark before it kills anyone else. Now you may be surprised to see this one on the list, but tell me Jaws didn't make you more nervous to swim in the ocean after you saw it. To this day, I cannot go in the water without fear that a great white shark is going to be sitting there waiting for me, jaws open, teeth ready to crunch down. I was even afraid it lived in my pool. I don't think I'm the only one who had that fear. This movie may not produce the kind of paranoia that other horror movies do, but when you're in the ocean and you feel something brush up against your leg, or you step on something that doesn't quite feel like the bottom of the ocean floor, you know there's part of you that hears that music playing from Jaws, and you think, this is it, this is it, this is how I go out, Jaws. Okay, so those are 4 movies that will make you paranoid even after they're over. As promised, here are some fun facts about each film. So with The Strangers, Liv Tyler really wanted to be scared. She didn't want it to come off like she was pretending. So when the actress who played the woman in the pinup mask arrived on set, she was directed not to let Liv Tyler see her in the mask prior to shooting. So when you see Liv Tyler crawling away and screaming, you're looking at genuine fear. So with Black Christmas, remember I mentioned When a Stranger Calls, there's actually a fan theory out there that the two movies are linked, and it's actually the same killer in both movies. You also might be surprised who was a huge fan of this movie. Steve Martin. Olivia Hussey, who plays the main character, met him, and when she did, he said, "Oh, you're in one of my favorite movies." She assumed he was talking about Romeo and Juliet, but he said, no, Black Christmas, I've seen it 27 times. I don't know if I could watch Black Christmas 27 times, it's pretty scary. The idea for It Follows came to the director/writer David Robert Mitchell because of a recurring nightmare he used to have as a child where something would follow him. If you've seen this movie, you might have noticed that it's hard to figure out when this takes place because of the cars that are used, the clothing, and the things that are shown on the television. This is done on purpose to make it feel like a dream. And finally, Jaws. All right, this one's a pretty cool story. Lee Fierro, who played Mrs. Kittner, the mother of Alex Kittner, the boy who was eaten by the shark while playing on the raft, went into a seafood restaurant. There she saw a sandwich on the menu called the Alex Kittner sandwich. She mentioned that she had played his mother in the movie. So the owner, Jeffrey Voorhees, no relation to Jason, ran out to meet her and told her he was actually the one to play her little boy. That was the first time they had seen each other since filming Wrapped. All right, so again, those are 4 movies that will make you paranoid even after they're over, plus some fun facts about the films. What do you guys think? Are there any movies that you would add or take off from the list? Definitely let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, check the descriptions because I'm going to leave links for my new social media accounts on Facebook and Instagram. Bye, film freaks.